Hi everyone, I'm Lily Carlisle and I work at the United Nations Refugee Agency in Jordan, a country that hosts over 650,000 refugees from Syria. Thank you for joining UNHCR on mission today. We're going to be talking about the impact that the conflict in Syria has had. It's the biggest refugee crisis in the world. Since 2011, the crisis in Syria has claimed thousands of lives and left over 13 million people in need of humanitarian assistance. Over 5.6 million people have fled to neighbouring countries like Jordan, and over 6.6 million people are still internally displaced within Syria. Syria remains the largest refugee crisis in the world. The destruction of civilian infrastructure has left millions struggling to meet their basic needs. Over the last 10 years, millions of refugees have fled the conflict in Syria to countries like Turkey, Iraq, Lebanon, Egypt, and here in Jordan. In December 2019, there was an outbreak of violence in Idlib in northwest Syria, uprooting over 900,000 people from their homes. Since then, people have been fleeing for their safety, the majority of whom, over 80%, are women and children. Some refugees in Jordan live in refugee camps, such as Zatari Refugee Camp and Azraq Refugee Camp. Zatari is home to 80,000 refugees, over 20% who are under 5 years old. UNHCR works in the camps to provide them with food, shelter, healthcare, education, and much more so that they are able to meet their basic needs. Jordan itself is the second largest host of refugees per capita in the world. This means that there are over 650,000 refugees living in Jordan. Over 80% of them live outside refugee camps, and that means that they live here in cities like Amman. Living outside of a refugee camp doesn't necessarily mean stability or success. Over 80% of refugees in Jordan live below the poverty line. That means that they live on less than $3 a day. Meeting their basic needs, such as paying their rent, buying food, paying their electricity, water bills, is a daily struggle. That's why UNHCR's cash assistance is so important. Today I'm here with Jamila. I'm going to visit Jamila and her family, her 4 children. They live in an area of East Amman, one of the poorest neighbourhoods in the city. They've been here since 2013 when they fled their home in Homs. Every month they're one of 30,000 families who get cash assistance from UNHCR in Jordan. So today, hopefully, is the day where they're going to go and pick up their money. So we're going to spend the day with them and see what their daily life is like. So this is the alley where Jamila lives. As you can see, that door, black door over there, is their front door. But they're surrounded by quite run-down, almost half-built houses. Every month their rent is about 130 dinar. The money that Jamila and her family get from UNHCR is also 130 dinar. So everything they go gets spent on their rent for this house. It's the only thing that provides some stability. So it's really important for them. I think some of the kids are actually at school. They left earlier this morning. I wasn't up as early as they were, but I think we should be able to see them as they return from school today. Apologies in advance for my terrible Arabic accent. I speak a little bit of Arabic, not that much. So one of my colleagues, Ihab, is also here to help me if they don't understand anything that I'm saying. When it comes to the COVID pandemic, numbers are actually still quite low here in Amman, and vaccinations have actually just started for Jordanians as well as refugees. But because of that, I'm going to be wearing my mask, so I'm going to put it on and then we'll go talk to Jamila and her family. مرحبا. مرحبا، كيفكم؟ شو أخباركم؟ أنت علي صح؟
نعم.
وأنت جميلة. أم علي.
أهلا وسهلا.
So I'm here with Jamila, or Ali. She's already otherwise known. She has 4 children, Ali, Ola, Ahmed and Aisha. Jamila, introduce yourself.
أنا جميلة أم علي. عندي 4 أطفال: علا، علي، أحمد، عيشة. دخلت على الأردن، إجيت بال 2013.
وين ساكن هلا؟
هلأ ساكن بعمان بالمحطة.
وكيف تدبر أمورك؟
كيف بتدبروا اموركم؟ احكي لنا عن كيف حياتك ماشيه.
حياتنا ماشي. هلأ يعني بالفضل المساعد الشهري من المفوضية، بندفع منها أجار البيت ومصاريفنا.
كم المصاريف من الفوضى؟ كم الدفع؟
130 دينار.
وكم الإيجار؟
كمان 130.
So Jamila, can you tell us a little bit more about what it was like when you fled Syria? شو صار لما جيت الأردن؟
لما صارت الأجواء كتير مرعبة مخيفة، أجواء الحرب، الضرب من كل الجهات، هون اضطرينا نطلع من سوريا. ضبيت أولادي وطلعت معهم. كانت الرحلة صعبة على الأردن. مشينا بطرقات صعبة، بطرقات خطرة، واجينا على الأردن. واجهنا كتير صعوبات طبعا. ضبيت أولادي ومسكتهم من هون ومن هون، درت بالي عليهم لحد ما عبرنا الأجواء الحدود الأردنية، دخلنا على المخيم.
وبالنسبة زوجك؟ شو صار؟
طبعا لما طلعنا كانت مقطوعة أخبار جوزي. كان إلهم 3 أشهر معتقلينه وما بعرف عنه أخبار، مقطوعة أخباره نهائيا. هون فقدت الأمل إنه يطلع، وحسيت حالي المسؤولة الوحيدة عن أولادي. ضبيتهم وطلعتهم.
تمام.
الحمد لله.
So this is Ali. Ali is 12. He is 12 years old, and he is in grade 7. So for the last year, he hasn't been able to go to school because the schools here in Jordan have been closed. But next week, it's good news because he is hopefully going back to school. And he's planning on going to go and get his school books on Sunday. So Ali, could you tell us a little bit about why you're excited to go back to school, what you're looking forward to? يلا. أنا المدرسة.
علي، بتسألك شو تطلعاتك ليوم الأحد إنه بدك ترجع على المدرسة؟ متحمس مش متحمس؟ احكي لنا شوي، إيش ترتيباتك؟
متحمس كتير لأنه بدي أرجع على المدرسة. كتير.
ليه؟
التعليم يعني أحسن، وهناك بالمدرسة التعليم أحسن عن بعد. بشوف أصحابي، بطلع، بدرس، بتعلم، بفوت وبطلع.
What's your favourite subject?
إيش المادة أكثر مادة بتحبها؟
العربي.
And what do you want to be in the future?
شو بدك تصير لما تكبر بالمستقبل؟ شو حابب تصير؟
دكتور.
Is there a reason? ليه دكتور؟
بحب الطب يعني.
And تذكر أي شيء عن سوريا؟
ما كتير يعني.
وكيف الأردن؟
تمام الأردن.
ليه؟ شو أحسن شيء؟
في أمان وما في خوف، في أمان وكل شيء.
وعندك أصحاب
بالمدرسة عندي أصحاب. مرحبا، أنا علي. حابة أورجيكم المطبخ اللي وراي. هذا المطبخ، وعندنا غرفتين ببيتنا بدارنا. هاي الغرفة بيناموا فيها أخواتي. هاي غرفة القعدة. وكتبي يوم الأحد جنتتي يوم الأحد نروح على المدرسة يوم الأحد
العربي والإنجليزي.
رياضيات عربي إنجليزي عربي ما عربي قرآن
ايش هيك؟
هذا قرآن هذا كتابة
بس
هذول نحلوه نكتبه نحلوه هاي نسخ قرآن نسخ 3 مرات هاي كله هاد نقرأه نحفظ عن غايب نحفظه عن غايب اوكي في الرياضيات
وهي كتب من
الصف السابع
بس في يوم الأحد في كتب جديد.
كتب جديد
أي شيء
كل كتب إنجليزي رياضيات عربي حاسوب جغرافيا مهني كله هاد يجي إنجليزي.
وأنت متحمسة
كتير المدرسة.
So Ali says when he's not at school he spends most of his time on his phone. As a family they just have one phone which they share between them. It's actually their mum's phone, but I think there are sometimes a few arguments about who gets to use it.
مسلسل سوري هندي
وكم ساعات في اليوم؟
مسلسلين 3 يعني ساعتين يعني بليك مسلسلات.
What's your favourite? إيش أحسن مسلسلات؟ باب الحارة. So I'm here with Huda and we're just about to go and pick up the children from school. Huda is their aunt and every day she goes and walks up and sees them.
أنا عنتون جود عيش وحمودك من مدرسة.
يلا.
تعالوا هون الجراوند.
وكل يوم انتي
كل يوم أنا أروح وجيبهم هنا.
Here they are. This is Aisha and Ahmed. كيفكم؟ كيف كان المدرسة؟ كويس؟ شو تعلمتي اليوم؟
درست عربي ورياضيات
وعايشة نفسه واستلمت الكتب؟ كويس يلا إلى البيت.
يلا.
السلام عليكم أنا أحمد عمري 8 ونص صفي ثاني.
أنا اسمي عائشة عمري 11 سنة صفي 5.
وشو صار اليوم؟
درسنا
أول يوم؟
كتب.
تمام. وشفت صحباتك؟
شفت صحبات.
كيفكم؟
الحمد لله.
من زمان ما شفتهم؟ Huda is the cook in the household apparently. إيش التطبخ اليوم؟ مجدرة. So I actually don't know what مجدرة is. شو مجدرة؟ فاصوليا. So فاصوليا is a bean dish which is on the stove. Ali is very kindly helping out his aunt Huda. وشو؟ Yum. It looks yum. ومجدرة. Okay, so it's like a rice and lentils.
مي ينشف يصير
إيش فيها؟
برغوال العدس.
حلو. زاكي؟
هاي مو تنشف كلها يصير
بعدين زيت وبصل. قليب زيت وبصل.
and جميلة, do you like it? زاكي؟
أنا كثير زاكي.
وبالنسبة لك شو أحسن أكل وطبخ؟
أحسن إيش؟
الطبخ المفضلة.
الطبخة المفضلة الكبة المشوية.
كبة مشوية. كم مرة في الأسبوع شهر؟
بالسنة مرة.
بالسنة مرة. ليه بس أي مناسبة؟
ايه بالمناسبة.
بالمناسبة. Okay.
بالأعياد يعني كمان.
Yes, yesterday she received her monthly text message, SMS, saying that her cash assistance was ready to go and pick up. So that's where we're going to go and head now, alongside Ali, and get their 130 dinar, which will then go to their landlord to pay their rent. وين البنك؟
تحت.
بعيد؟
تحت ورا محطة.
تمام. So this is the area where Jamila and her family live. That's their house up there, the black door, and then down the alleyway leads onto one of the main roads in Amman. We've got the market opposite. There's a little corner shop here, and because it's a Thursday, there's people out in the streets ready to enjoy their weekend. At the bank, it's about a 15-minute walk from Jamila's house, and she was just explaining on the way here that this is only the second month in a row that she's received her cash assistance. She was cut off for the cash for about 2.5 years. She received cash assistance in 2018, but because UNHCR has a waiting list of around 10,000 families who are determined eligible or vulnerable enough for cash assistance, every so often we have to rotate those families on and off the waiting list, so all the vulnerable families get the fair chance that they need to get cash. So Jamila's cash assistance started up again last month, and this is the second month where she's received the SMS in a row, and she's extremely happy, and we're about to go get the cash. كيف شو شعورك؟
شعور كتير حلو، كتير رائع، راحة نفسية، كتير فرحانة، كتير مبسوطة.
Well, Ali, and Ali's with us. كيف شو شعورك عن الدفعة الآن؟ Yeah, they're both saying they're extremely happy that it'll provide them with a lot of stability, especially with having a safe shelter and a roof over their heads. Yeah, so we're just going. The bank is just up here. So Cairo Amman Bank is the bank that UNHCR uses to deliver cash assistance to our refugee families in Jordan. The cash assistance normally gets delivered at the beginning of the month, and as you can see here, the SMS was sent to a couple of families yesterday, so everyone's queuing to get their money out. I'm here with Jamila. She's just taken out her money. How do you feel?
شعور كتير رائع، كتير حلو لما سحبت المساعدة الشهرية، كتير شعرت براحة نفسية. الله يجزيكم كل خير، يعطيكم العافية. إن الفلوس من شان الآجار، كتير يعني انبسطت، كتير فرحت بالمساعدة الشهرية مشان أدفع إيجار بيتي.
وكم سنة؟
130 دينار.
Okay, so Jamila's just got 130 dinars, which she will use to pay her rent. So we've just got back from getting the cash assistance. It's now around 5 p.m, so I think we're going to say bye to Jamila and Ali and the family. Thank you so much for joining us today for UNHCR on mission. I hope you learned something about refugees in Jordan. Bye!
يلا